new Icebox, Izzo says. Hey, well, good evening. Thanks for joining us from the Icebox, Izzo. Happy Sunday, guys. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Folks, good evening. Yeah, everybody's putting in the chat what the temperatures are where you're at. It's probably in the, I haven't looked. I think it's in like the low 40s here. Low 40s. On the beach, on the coast, on the Gulf of America. So that's where we are right now. It's a Gulf of, that's the technical name for it, the Gulf of America. Google says Gulf of America now. You can't argue with Google, right? So let's see. 40 degrees warmer in Minnesota than last week. Well, that's good. Izzo's up there in the ice capital of the world in Connecticut with his buddy heater. Good evening. So happy Sunday, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going home tomorrow. So last night here for a while. And still running on the Starlink. We'll see how it goes. Had really good results. The last couple days, so it's been plugged up and mounted on the house since Friday. Did that live stream Friday night where it dropped a couple times at the beginning, but then it was solid after that. Haven't had any issues with it since then, so not getting the speeds I was hoping for, but at plenty of speed to live stream, so not a problem there. Special shout out, folks in green text in the chat. I saw a couple of you new folks join. Matthew Walker, Stephen Hightower. Let's see, welcome to Intro. Radio Wayne, Texas, member for 48 months. And Kevin, WB0POH, member for 11 months. Andy Calley was in there earlier. George Kowalski, Quail Dog USA. That's a cool name. KJ5FTT, Ed AC3IK, good evening. WB7OUT Tom, good evening. Dave Dobbins, good evening. Brian Garrison. Let's see who else is in there. Ham Radio Crusaders out there in the chat. EOD Kaboom. Paul the Southern Ham. Rail Air Gator. Good evening. Okay, Florida Panhandle. Yeah, Gator with a name like Gator, I guess. Smoke Signals RF. Izzo's in the chat. Tom. N3DMC. Ron. W9EGL. Another Ron. KN4ZVU. WT9J. Brian Garrison. And, there's another one there. Ham Funk 04 PDI. Oh, that's Mike. Ham Fun. It looks like you're ham funky, Mike. Like you've got the funk going on. I don't know. Psych Ham Doc. So, good evening, guys. Thanks for being here tonight. We're going to talk about Ham Radio Deluxe tonight. How cool is that? So, you guys are going to see them at Hamcation here in a couple of weeks. So, let's just hop right into it. We're going to transition from there to there. Mike, Steve, good evening. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. I'm doing great. Steve, are you doing great?
I just realized something. Like 75% of ham radio operators are either named Mike or Steve. So hiring Steve was probably not the smartest thing you could have done, Mike. But, I mean, he should have been named like.
Well, we've got several mics that are beta testers or whatever, and
I imagine
that Johns and various, but Only one ferry, by the way, but that's hard. They're harder to come by.
Okay. Well, that's good. So how are things going at Ham Radio or Ham Radio Deluxe? I was reading Ham Radio Crusader, but talking about Ham Radio Deluxe. How are things going at Ham Radio Deluxe?
Really good. We had a really good Christmas season and better than the previous year. We
Good.
released version 6.9. The initial release was on right before Halloween, and we've done a few maintenance releases since then. And it's interesting because basically before we started to do the rewrite, there were something in the neighborhood of 150 defects in version 6.8 for Logbook. And the developers finally said, you can't do this anymore. You gotta, to fix these things, we have to rewrite them. And that's what we took us longer than I would have liked to, but it's really been worth it. And it looks fantastic. It works great. We're down to, just little small things that are important to a few people, but we don't have any major issues right now. There's probably,
Good.
Steve, keep me honest, something in the 25 to 30 defects list, and they're all like, somebody had contacted us and said, we'd like the contrast to be a little different for this particular field because this thing's a little hard to read, but it's one-off kind of things
Yeah.
like that. It's really pretty good right now.
Okay. Good. And we're currently on like version 6.9 dot some subsection, so 7's not out yet, quite yet. And one
Right.
of the first questions I got asked, which was coming, is the Mac version, the version for Mac OS. Is that coming with 7 as well?
That will be with 7. And so
Okay.
let me talk a little bit about the process for getting to 7.
Go ahead.
There are 5 applications in the suite, 6 if you count Mapper, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But there's Logbook, Rig Control, DM780, Rotor Control, and Satellite Tracking. Thus far, we've rewritten Logbook. It literally will run on a Mac, and we've run it on a Mac a bit, but we've got to make it work with all 5. So we've already started the work to rewrite Rig Control. And then we'll do DM780, rotator, and satellite tracking. The Logbook application is the most complicated piece of all of them, so that's behind us. And then
Good.
we get all 5 of them rewritten. Version 7 will be, it's the intention that version 7 will be multi-platform, so Windows, Mac, Linux, multilingual, bunch of other cool things. We're going to add some capabilities that people have been asking for quite a bit. The application that's currently known as Mapper will be depreciated, replaced with something that's called HRD Global View. And to understand what HRD Global View, just think of a combination between Grid Tracker, the Geochron ham bundle, ham clock, and a bunch of other things that we already have in the application today, but it's just a matter of visualizing it on a screen. You'll be able to cast that to a 4K display on your network. It'll be pretty cool. So that's what we're working towards.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. Oh, you found your bourbon, I see. Congrats.
I did. I did. I do love my bourbon. It's all made in Bourbon County, Kentucky, of course.
Excellent. Yeah. What are you drinking tonight?
This is an old fashioned made with Buffalo Trace.
I've got a bottle of Buffalo Trace in the cabinet back there. So yeah.
And that particular distillery, I've been to most of them down there, and that's a very impressive facility. When you get out of your car, it just smells like paradise. So before you even walk in the door. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. People are asking about Linux. I know you're working on Mac OS, and Mac OS is just what I call a Fisher Price My First Computer GUI on top of a real operating system.
Yeah.
But how are you planning on a version that actually run on like Debian or something?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's Linux and Mac is expected to be available in version 7.
Awesome.
People will say, "Hey, when's version 7?" And if I'd answered that question 2 years ago, I would have been
Yeah.
but getting Logbook out of the way and having already started on rig control and a little bit into DM780 and satellite tracking, rotor control,
Hmm.
it won't be a heavy lift for those compared to Logbook. And
Good.
I've split the work up a little bit. Uh, there's the developer that's been working on rig control, or that the group that's been working on Logbook, they're going to continue with rig control, but I brought someone else in to do DM780.
Hmm.
The cool thing about that is what we're doing with DM780 is a couple things. We're going to use AI to separate the signal from the noise.
Hmm.
And then we're going to also use AI to improve the presentation of text to the screen. So it's particularly important with CW. Um,
Hmm.
if you were listening to the CW bulletin sent by the ARRL's machine,
Hmm.
it looks perfect on the screen. But if you're listening to someone whose hand isn't as perfect as a machine, might be in a tough signal to noise environment, it's a little harder to do that. So that's the work we're doing with DM780, as well as there's a number of other modes that people have been asking us to add, and we'll do that at that time too. So as soon as those other four applications are done by a group of, two groups of people, um, we'll be ready for version 7. Um, my wife hates it when I speculate, so I'm not,
Well,
I'm not going to speculate, but it can't come soon enough.
I hear. I know you've been working on that for a long time. I think I talked to you at Hamvention this last year, and
Yeah,
y'all were still working towards that. And of course, you've got a new version out, newer version today than you did then. So you're working in progression towards it. But yeah,
yep,
I know you've been working on that for a long time. So
yeah, yep,
yep.
yep. And yeah, it's like I said, I occasionally have to go back to 6.8 to test something because someone will say, hey, when I clicked here in version 6.8, it did this, but it doesn't happen that way in 6.9. So I have to go
Hmm.
back to 6.8 to try it. And to be real honest, going back to 6.8 from where we are in 6.9 seems like such a journey to go
Really?
back. I mean,
Wow.
it's significantly more powerful today than it was before.
Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, you guys keep the questions coming in the chat. I'm trying to watch him. Frank is still on the boat. Actually, I think he's flying back today or tomorrow, something like that. So, no, no co-host tonight. But yeah, please, if I don't acknowledge your question, feel free to type it again. No problem there. Oh, look at that. Bill sent 5 Ham Radio Clubhouse, Ham Radio channel members, YouTube channel memberships. Thank you, Bill, for doing that. So, yeah, okay, good deal. All right, man. So, do you want to show us what it looks like, or
Yeah.
okay?
I'm going to be just for the listeners, I'm going to be on 40 meters FT8 here. And let me see here. Share. I will do that. Sharing is caring. So
That's
let's
right.
come over here, and I'm on a very large screen, so hopefully this doesn't look terrible. Is that good?
It's still there. It is right there. It was a black screen for a few seconds, but I see it
Okay.
now. I see it now.
Okay. So let me walk you through
Hmm.
some of the visual changes. And right now, what you're looking at here in the activity down here is HRD alert. We introduced that a couple years ago.
Hmm.
It's actually taking the D codes out of WSJT, or you can use JTDX or whatever. So it's bringing those D codes in. The nice thing about this is, which is different from a lot of other applications, is that in real time we're showing you whether or not you need that country, grid, county, state, zone, prefix, whatever. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that just from looking at it that I can tell straight away whether or not I need to work that station. Now, I've worked pretty much, well, I'm in on a roll, so
Hmm.
I've worked pretty much every country that's going to be on the air right now. So it's unlikely that I'll get any new ones, but um I might need get a new band country, but as I see these things coming in, I can filter them if I want to say, well, only show me um, decodes if it's a new Atno, if it's an all-time new one, or if it's a new DXCC on the band or on the mode. I don't chase states much anymore or continents or whatever, but if you chase some of these things, you can have these things come up in filters, or you can have them come up in alarms, and when the alarms fire off, you'll get any combination of things. First of all, the row will light up. I'll show you that in a moment, but
Mm-hmm.
you can get an email, which I get them when I'm away from the shack, and it tells me that there's something on the air that I need.
Mm-hmm.
It'll do text to speech. There's a light pole that I don't know if I'll be able to. Maybe if you, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but this little guy, this is an Embrava blink light, and so whenever you
Show that again. You were showing the screen, but not your camera. So show that again real quick.
can you see it there?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's about it's a cube that's probably about an inch and a half cubed,
Hmm.
and it lights up red when there's something on the air. It'll even play a
Nice.
jingle if you want it to play a jingle. So it's kind of cool.
That's
Um,
cool.
this is USB connected, and Brava tells me they're going to have Wi-Fi connected ones. So, I
Uh
tell
huh.
people that's really good for, taking it to the dinner table. And if something new shows up that you need while you're having dinner, you can just jump up and run away.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
wife hates that idea. So I won't repeat that again. Um, yeah, so I mean, each one of these, like over here, if I'm looking at this one, for example, if I click once, it'll pull up, the information about that particular station, and I can see that I've never worked this station before, but I can see what I've worked on this particular country. Here's one that Camden, Georgia, as a county. I've never worked Camden, Georgia as a county. If I can double click on it, I probably got that late, but that will start WSJT or JTDX, whatever you're using.
Hmm.
It'll start it up transmitting. Clearly, like I said, I probably got in late because I was talking about. Um, and then once I work it, it's going to show up as worked, and it'll go from red to yellow. And once I confirm it, it'll go from yellow to green. So that's how that works across, like I said, zones, states, countries, grids, whatever it is you happen to be collecting. I'm going to pin this to the top if I can remember how. There we go. So if I go and I don't know if he's going to call me or not, maybe he will. If I go down here into the DX cluster, I can see all the stations that are being reported on the DX cluster. The filter I can turn on. And like I said before, this will only show me the things that I need. So there's one station on here that I can see I've worked, see the yellow yield sign.
Hmm.
I've worked that country for that mode before, but I've never confirmed them. So as if I click once over here, it'll show me the QRZ image. Now it has these great tables that are a lot better than what you used to be able to see. You can see what you've worked for CW, phone, and digital, and I can see that the one that I've worked for digital, I haven't confirmed anything on digital. That's why this is showing up as yellow. I'm going to stop calling him because I don't think he's going to call me back.
Hmm.
Let's see. Nope. Um, Another cool thing that was added was we call it the DX histogram. So based on all the activity that's coming in from DX cluster, it will show you where the action's at. Um, if you can see kind of the orange color down at the bottom of the band,
Yeah.
that's CW.
Okay.
And there's like a purple one that's up at the top of the band, that's phone. But people don't talk to each other anymore. So it's all green because it's all digital modes, and that's what people are working. So you can see where the activity is based on the DX spots you've received.
Is that digital mode Is that all FT8 or is it multiple digital modes in there like RIDI and whatnot?
It's any digital mode,
Okay.
but in reality, so it could be FT4 or FT8, but in reality, everybody's on FT8 basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm probably going to find a blank space. I'll call CQ and see if anybody answers me. Hang
And
on
you,
a
you
sec.
said you're on 40 meters, right?
I am on 40 meters, FT8. I'm going to pop in here and I'll call CQ on the next time slot. Right. So, if I click, over here, where it says the coordinates, it'll open up Google Earth. I'm going to bring Google Earth over here after it actually fires up. I should have had it launched beforehand.
That's fine. Bill says, I talk all the time. There's a movement to get me quiet. It won't work, though. I believe Bill. Hey,
Talks all the time.
Grayman POTA says 97.32% of my contacts are phone. I'd like to see the statistic where you got that, Tim. But yeah. I mean, just because you talk to 2 people a week who will actually respond to you doesn't mean that you're all making phone contacts.
I'm gonna move that out of the way. Here's so I happened to click on the coordinates for V47JA. Here's the thing turning red, by the way, if you could see it. But
Oh yeah.
If I here's something cool. So let's say that I want to find out what it looked like when I was working these US stations here. So I'm just going to highlight them, just a few of them here. And I'm going to right click and go to look up Google Earth. And the cool thing is that from within the view here, it'll show me from my QTH here north of Dallas, all these different stations I worked and where they are. And I can come over here and kind of drill down on one of them if I went to and see how close they are to, having an absence of HOA in their neighborhood. See if they have a swimming pool. They'll invite me over. But there's cool stuff you can do with Google Earth. One of the things we're going to do here fairly soon is that every station you work will get plotted on Google Earth as you work them, and then
Really?
Then you'll have like a real-time map of all the stations you're working on Google Earth.
Oh, that's kind of neat. I like that. That's a great idea.
Let's see what else. Yeah, and then there's awards tracking, a lot of the things that have been in here for a while. You want to talk about POTA?
Yes. Yeah. So you wanted me to ask you about POTA. So POTA Logbook, which a lot of the old school logging softwares like HRD and N1MM didn't buy into very quickly. But I know you guys are doing POTA now. So yeah, tell us about that for sure.
Yeah, so let's say, for example, I'm working you, and I'm going to put in your call, KC5 HWB, and I hit tab, so it's going to go and do the lookup, and I can, this is probably where you live, I would think. Yeah, I would say.
What is that?
So there's a map here.
Uh-huh.
It's like 157 in Texas 10, something in the neighborhood of that.
Oh,
That's your QRZ location anyway. That's what this is.
no, that's not right. But I think that's a QRZ thing, right?
Yeah.
That address is correct, but that's not where it is on the map. So,
All right.
it's probably.
I mean,
true.
I'd have to look at what your I'd have to look at what's in QRZ for you for that long, but that's where it gets it.
All right.
Anyway, let's say you're at a POTA and I want to work you. So I come over here to the POTA tab and you can give me a park. So let's say that I don't particularly hear the park number, but I hear the park name. Give me a park name.
Galveston Island State Park.
Oops. I typed too quick.
Yeah, you have to spell it correctly.
That must be it right there. I can pull this.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that's the correct number.
So if I double click on that, it adds the park in here. So the coordinates are basically taken from the file that is obtained from the POTA kind of catalog, if you will, the POTA repository. But if I save that one, I'm not going to save it because I have auto upload set for Logbook of the World and whatnot. So
Right.
I'm not going to log you, but that's how you do it. If, for example, you happen to be in multiple parks, let's say you were in US, I'll just make something up, 30112. I could put both parks in there if there happen to be a case where both parks are active in the
Mm-hmm.
same location or something like that. Um, Same thing, by the way, for SOTA. I mean, if I had, I don't know what I'm going to put. Oh, I can get something that might look good.
I don't have any SOTA summit numbers memorized. I don't do much of that around here in the flatland. So,
Yeah, this one, in this particular one, you're in France. Uh,
okay.
uh, there's worldwide flora and fauna. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
too. Someone called the other day and said, "Hey, your list doesn't have the Turkish parks in it, but it did. He didn't scroll down far enough, but
Oh,
so you got Turkish parks here, where you could add those in. So that's basically how you would do that. I'm going to reset for a minute, and then we're going to put in your call sign again, KC5 HWB,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go back to POTA.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's calling me. I'll call him back. You must have someone on the show that called. So
Could be.
this is Whiskey Zulu 4 kilowatt. So I'll call him. So uh, if like I said, if you gave me the park number, I could
Mm-hmm.
just put US 3013 and or sorry 3013 and I'm good if I didn't want to put all the rest of that stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I could count the parks that I worked and so on later. If I were an activator, I'm going to hide this thing a little bit if I can move it out of the way. I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. Um, if I configure there he is. So see, I worked him. Thanks for the QSO. He went directly up into here, and I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
this is Howard Waxman.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Newport News. So now I'll go back to calling CQ. Um, so if I'm an activator, I go to Tools, Configure my station. And since my park has a unique location that's different from my home,
Mm-hmm.
I would add another location here. I'm not going to do it here. This is my that would just help me understand that this is the park that I was working from. So you do that. That's how that works.
So if you drive around activating a bunch of parks, you would want to put in a new location for pretty much every every different park you activate.
Yeah, because every different park would have a different lat long,
Right.
a different grid. You could be in a different CQ or ITU zone. So
Right.
that's why you have the ability to create locations. I talked to a guy that's, you know these people though, Jason. I mean, some of these folks have activated hundreds of parks.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you can do that, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
you would do it. You can put in what kind of station you were using and so on. But
Good.
that's how it works. There's one thing to point out is that HRD logbook version 6.9 fully conforms to the ADIF standards,
Okay.
and I'm not throwing anything at anyone here, but the POTA site doesn't yet conform to those POTA fields. So what you can do though is that there's a data move utility or copy move because they want you to use the SIG fields. So
Yeah.
you can just copy within the tool. There's a data copy tool in here that enables you to basically move those fields or copy those fields to the SIG fields or vice versa if you want to do it that way before you upload them to the POTA site. Eventually,
Okay.
once they get that done, you won't have to do that, but that's the way it
Okay.
is.
Good to know. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
I
So.
mean, so basically that's kind of, what we've been up to. The database is SQLite, like I showed over here.
Mhm.
And it's part of what we needed to do to get away from um Microsoft a bit and be Mac and Linux compliant because we're not going to run access on Linux or Mac. So
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
gets that piece out of the way.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. What?
Over here, by the way, just one other thing to point out is that all the green ones are people calling CQ. I can filter it down just to where I only see the people calling CQ. I'm going to call one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can show those who are calling me, and those have left the screen from a while ago because we don't save them forever. I
Mm-hmm.
can see the ones CQ or me. So this is one that I use quite often because if I want to work some stations and I don't see, I got to be able to see people responding to me if I'm calling them when they're calling CQ, right? So,
Right.
yep,
Okay.
there's somebody responding to me. If I click once on this, I can see his picture over here. This is
Gotcha.
Troy Greenberg in Falls City, Oregon. Hello to you, Troy. Let's see where, can come up here and we can see where he's working from. Well, he's kind of out by Seaside. Have you ever been
Mm-hmm.
to that Hamfest?
I have not. No.
It's really cool. It's north of where he is a bit and on the coast, but it's a really cool
Mm-hmm.
Hamfest. So here's the QSO. I've completed that one, and it's going back into the list.
Good.
It's
Okay.
just easy. This is
Yeah.
how we communicate today.
Right. Yeah. True. Very true. Very true.
Um, rig control, by the way, just to say a little bit about rig control. The way rig control is constructed right now, it takes us a fairly long time to add radios to it because radios have to be added by a developer.
Hmm.
And we're moving away from that. So the radio commands and the profiles for radios will be in files that are external to the software, similar to the way that the POTA files are external to software or the country list is external to the software. So when new radios are introduced, we'll be able to add the radios and people can download them without having to wait for a software release to do it. So we've already framed that up and
Okay.
we'll be testing that fairly soon.
As someone asked earlier about the Yaesu FT710, they said it wasn't in your drop down list. So I guess that's
It's not
yeah.
I have one right here. It's actually like right like here on my screen. And I use the FT 991A profile and it works pretty well.
Okay.
And no problems with that. I mean, the only problem here's Greg's one of our beta testers, so he's answering me now.
Hmm.
Hey Greg, if you're listening, hope you're doing well. He's down around Waco.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, some other things that we've done lately is that just to be real transparent, when 6.9 came out, a whole lot of people downloaded it,
Mm-hmm.
and we changed some things in the software where people had to go and find things. And one of the cool things about the software, just to point out something, if you were going to go, for example, you wanted to configure filters, and you're not exactly sure how to use this screen, there's a question mark down in the lower left.
Mm-hmm.
And if you click on that, you probably won't see this because I think I'm only sharing one screen. But that if you click on this button,
Mm-hmm.
that will take you to the hang on, man. Hang on, Greg. Sorry. I'm answering you. The watchdog shut off and it wasn't answering him back. Um, But if you click on this question mark, it'll take you to the exact page in the manual that answers all the questions about what do you have to do to configure that, which is pretty handy because people say, how do I get to your manual? Where's your manual? And
Mm-hmm.
it's all online now,
Yeah.
which is a downer for people who like to have it in PDF, but it changes quite often. But we tried to make it easy by just, for example, I'll just open up a QSO here. If I'm in this one, I can click on this question mark down in the lower right if I want to find out how to use or configure some of these things. It's a explanation for everything that's on the screen there.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so now I got Greg in the log for like the 50th time. Thanks, Greg. Uh, Interesting. Greg grew up like in Indiana, like 10 miles from my house, and we didn't know each other till we got to Texas and through him Radio Deluxe. Anyway, so we had like this increased demand for tech support, and to be honest, we got crushed a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, we had two and a half people in support. There was
Hmm.
Kevin, Ferry, and myself. I'm the half a person. So the reason why you see Steve kind of in the call today is that Steve graciously joined us recently,
Hmm.
and he's participating in tech support, and we're really pleased to have him aboard. It's been nice having another pair of hands, and really great to have Steve aboard. So thanks, Steve.
Good.
It's fun.
It's fun. Uh, Steve will probably start asking random quiz-like questions on Facebook about it soon. So
Hey, that's a good idea.
it
I'm
is a
running
good
out of
idea.
questions. I'm running out of questions.
It is a good idea.
So we'll be at the Orlando Hamcation. Steve will
Good.
be in the booth as much as he's able to be in the booth, and we're looking forward to it.
Hmm.
Always a good show, always a lot of fun. So we we're in the booth directly across from Gigaparts. I know
Hmm.
Steve enjoys that, so we'll be right there. He won't he won't have a hard time finding it. It'll just be
Right.
easier to park easier to park this year.
For sure.
So as you can see, I'm still putting people in the log,
Uh-huh.
and once I do, they're immediately in the log, and um, the before kind of lights up. So there's a before column.
Hmm.
Before tells me that I've worked that particular station on the same band and mode group before. So the mode group in this case is digital. That's why it lit up.
Hmm.
Now answering someone else here. Yep. I don't know if some of our social media managers posted that I'm on 40 meters, but maybe we'll maybe we'll get some action.
Okay, so I know you wanted to talk about subscriptions and upgrades and whatnot, and someone just asked how much is it a year. So why don't you address that real quick?
Did we lose them?
I don't know.
There, you're back now. You
Okay.
it froze for a second, but yeah, no, I think it's okay.
So right, so there's we get a question every now and then, which is, and this is really important. And it's really important because for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that we ham radio operators, I'm going to say, are very frugal, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a good
Stated
way to
another
say it.
way, stated another way, the average ham radio operator could pinch a penny till it squeals. Um, so, so we're frugal. I get questions from people saying, "Hey, I bought your software 10 years ago. Do I have to buy it again in order to download the latest version, or what do I need to pay for to download the latest version?" And the answer is nothing, because we don't sell upgrades, we don't sell versions, and we don't sell subscriptions on the software. So here's the way to think about that.
Okay.
If you've purchased the software from us at any point in time in the past, you should go to our website and download the software and install it today, because you've paid for it, you're entitled to it. Now, there are cases where there are new features that have been released, and if they were released after your new features and support period is expired, then you wouldn't have access to them, but you may not care.
Mm.
Uh, so that's kind of the way that works. So the first thing is, if you've purchased it from us in the past, go download it, It doesn't cost you anything. I had a guy the other day says, well, uh, I bought version 6.7 dot whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I said, well, actually you didn't. You didn't buy any we don't sell versions. We sell a perpetual software license and a key that will activate any current or future version of the software.
Mm.
So, for no cost, for no charge to you, go to www.hamradiodeluxe.com and download the software and install it. Have a nice day.
Mm.
I'm going to try to sell the new features. There's no doubt about that. I'm not bashful about saying so, but you don't need to buy them unless, for example, I showed HRD Alert, which is what I'm using here. There are other options for doing this on the market. You can use those if you want to. I'm constantly trying to improve the software uh, so that people want to buy a renewal because it gets new features and support. A lot of people used to say, well, I don't need support, so I'm not going to buy the renewal. Well, the renewal is not just support, it's for the new features as well. So I had somebody the other day says, well, I do want to buy the renewal. I downloaded the software, I got on the latest version, and I really want to, use some of these features. What do I have to do? Well, you buy a renewal. We send out deals for them every now and then. The regular price for that is $49.99, and you can buy it for less than that, probably if you get the right deal. And that will catch you up for all the features that you've been missing out on, and any that are released over the next 12 months, and you're good to go. Unlimited access to tech support and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal.
Good. Good. Okay.
Did I explain that well, Steve?
Yes.
Perfect.
Now I'm probably going to have tons of tickets in the morning.
You probably will. You probably will. But I mean, the thing of it is though, we want fundamentally, I want people to be able to use the software. Bottom line.
Right. Yeah.
And if they've purchased it in the past, then as they say in Australia, good on you, mate. You know, go download it and get it going, right? And so that's the most important thing. And then if you want the features, you have the option to do the renewal. But the main thing is get on this version. We've had about 10% of the population thus far get on it so far, and I want to see that. I want to see that number increase. So,
Good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
so sally forth and go and get it downloaded and have a go.
Right. Oh, Mark N4BCD's in the chat. He says he's not decoding you in Tennessee. I don't know why he's in Tennessee, but
Well, that's where he lives.
That could be true.
I was gonna say he's got his Christmas tree still lit up on his tower, and he's using that as his antenna. And
I'm like at 2700 hertz. That's where I am in the waterfall on 7074. And well, I'm using, by the way, because I get this question every now and then. Right now I'm using a Flex 6400. Shout out to Remote Ham Radio. They allow me to use their radios for demos because the stuff works a lot better than my radios do. So I'm connecting to their 6400 using Smart SDR, and Ham Radio Deluxe is perfectly happy to connect to the radio through Smart SDR, and then Smart is also connecting to WSJTX, and that's how I'm getting decodes in my screen.
gotcha. Okay. Keep kicking my light. Okay. I got a couple of questions here from follow-ups earlier. Thank you, Don, for retyping that. Don, N5SKT, lives out by me. When will, I guess if ever, when will the software support TCI transceiver control interface used on the Sun SDR and Anon radios?
When we finish the rewrite for rig control.
Okay.
And so that's what we're working on right now. like I said earlier, I don't think it's a big lift to do the rewrite on rig control. Um, the works, the work had actually begun um, a year ago, but I stopped work on rig control because of getting um, Logbook out before holidays this year. But
Hmm.
um, we're already back into rig control, so it shouldn't be too long. I get that
Okay.
question. It's there's like two people that will ask that question every single time, and I wish I could accelerate this for them. Um, man, what does anybody know? Like, what do you have to do to cause WSJTX to automatically? I mean, it quits. It takes itself off of TX, and I didn't expect to see that because it's been behaving perfectly for, years. I don't know.
I've had mine do that to me before, just kind of at random, but uh, I don't remember what the fix was. I think I was running an older version. I just upgraded it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
So, yeah.
I'm running 2.6.1, and I think there's a plenty newer one out
Mm.
than that. I could go to JTDX. I might do that.
Another question is, can HRD connect to FL rig versus direct to the radio?
There are ways that you can do that. Um, the downside of doing that is that, and this is one of the challenges for us with adding new radios, is that if you take some of those programs like FL Rig or Omni Rig and others, um, I'm not real familiar with FL Rig, so I'll just use Omni Rig as the example.
Hmm.
But Omni Rig only really supports a small handful of commands, like frequency mode, VFO, split, you know, VFOA, VFOB, yada yada yada. Those commands in these radios don't change very often. In fact, the manufacturers would say we want to stick with the same commands as we go forward because it's less work for them.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have a radio that didn't support the mode did you or something like that. So there's a new um, kind of extension to that command, but that's why I'm using the 991A for the 710. So, but our
Yeah.
approach
Yeah.
is that we actually program every single command in the command reference manual for the radio, and that's part of what takes us a little bit of time. So if you were to, for example, and like I said, I'm going to stick with OmniRig because I know it better. If you were going to use OmniRig, none of the filtering commands in rig control would work
Mm.
because they're not supported for most radios. So
Okay.
it's a little harder. I actually try to discourage it because it's just not. I mean, there's several different kind of unique use cases where somebody might want to do that, and usually it's because they've got various other different software they want to use at the same time, and there are other ways to get around that.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm happy to help them with whatever kind of specific circumstance they've got, but it's normally better to stick with our rig control, even if you want to split the COM port and use FL rig or Omni rig otherwise.
Okay. Let's see. Steve answered this question in the chat, but I'm going to read it anyway for everybody else's benefit. Jody is asking, what is the perpetual license tied to? Is it a call sign, name, email, all of those? And Steve answered that it's connected to your call sign.
Yeah, it is. So I say it's married to your call sign. Um, but it's your unique customer identifier
Mm-hmm.
in our system is your email address. And it's your email
Okay.
address because our systems weren't built for ham radio.
Oh,
So the web
yeah.
store, the web store is on a platform called UltraCart. The licensing platform is called Sirocco. I mean, there's a number of different players in here. So they don't know call sign. So we literally use the company field as the call sign field.
Oh,
So we do look for that. So if you were to buy the software, you're going to install it with your call sign. We get your email address, and that way, if you ever need your software key at a later date and time, you use that email address to get your key. If you happen to change your call sign later, there's a self-service method for doing that, or we can do that for you, but it's pretty much tied to your call sign henceforth.
gotcha. Good to
Oh, another
good to
another
know.
cool thing, by the way, because usually right after that question we get this one, which is how many computers can I install Ham Radio Deluxe on? And the answer is five.
5.
So you can have five concurrent activations, which is part of the reason why we restrict it by call sign and email address like we do.
Okay. There was another one in here. Let's see. Do you have a glimpse of the new planned rig interface? Is that something you can show us, or?
Um, Let me see, because I did. I've got the version 7. Um, Let's see if I can find that. Because it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really kind of, just for clarity, we've been working on that topic for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I've showed it at different times in the past, and people are going to say, "Oh, well, you're trying to make it look like Win for Yaesu or Win for ICOM." Not really. I mean, we've been working on this for a very long time,
Mm.
but it will have a radio-looking interface. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find. Going into the Wayback Machine. Yeah.
Have you been working with Marcus with SDR control for Mac?
No, not
No.
yet.
Okay. That's something Don wanted to know. He makes the Mac OS software for ICOM and Flex.
Oh,
And
okay. Oh, yeah,
Mac
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Mac OS and iOS both, I believe.
Yeah.
So pretty nifty software. Let's see.
I'm still looking for that.
Go
So
ahead. Do you need a third party application in between?
it connects directly to HRD. That's what I'm doing now. And it's just by virtue of the way of how I shared the screen, I've got a 49-inch screen.
Mm.
So if you share the full screen, it'll be so small that no one can see it. But
Yeah.
so I only shared the window, and so I've actually got WSJTX sitting on top of rig control, or sorry, on top of a logbook here, but you can't see it because it didn't
Gotcha.
share part of the screen. Hang on a second. I might have actually. Nope, that's not it. I'm getting closer though. I'll find it.
If you have one of your 5 registered computers and the computer crashes, you lose a hard drive or something,
Mhm.
how do you get that computer unregistered?
You go to mykeys.hamradiodeluxe.com
Mhm.
and you can put in your you can either obtain your email or your key there if you don't know your key, or you can put in your key. It will show you the computers that are registered, and once you get the list, you can decide which ones you want to deactivate, I guess is the right way to put it.
Gotcha. Kind of like deactivating your Kindle on Amazon.
Yeah, or Microsoft Office or
Yeah.
whatever. It
Yeah.
works pretty much the same
Yeah.
way.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. And this is a good question. I think it does this already, Tim, but I'm going to ask this because this is a good question. Any plans on loading the logs into the cloud so that you can share logs between your 5 computers?
You can actually do that today.
I thought you could, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, so by default today, the database is SQLite. Um, and SQLite is a very common, what it's called an embedded database, but it doesn't share. So we've got multi stations, club stations that are doing exactly what was asked there, and they install MySQL or Maria database, and they're able to basically share the access to the database in real time, whether it's on a local shared drive, or you can put it in a cloud uh, server if you want to. The problem is that because of the way, see, people would say, can I use OneDrive, Dropbox, Box,
Yeah.
iCloud? That doesn't work. And frankly, it's not a limitation of Ham Radio Deluxe. It just doesn't work because those technologies are file synchronization technologies. They're not file sharing technologies. So when multiple stations get on those and try to access those files, it ends up creating copies of the same file. You'd have the same problem if it was an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document or whatever.
Okay.
So you can't do it that way, but the multi stations we've got are using, either you can designate one of the computers on your network to be the host of the database, or you can buy a cloud server and probably $10 a month, and you can put it there. It can even be running Linux for that matter. It doesn't really matter if you can get Maria database installed. It's probably MariaDB is probably the easiest one to do.
Gotcha.
Then
Okay.
you can get to it from anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're actually going to eventually we'll offer that as a service.
Okay.
We have to get all this other stuff done first, but it's my intention to offer that as a service.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Several people keep asking about Linux support. So we covered this earlier, and thank you if you're joining us. If you didn't join us at the beginning, then thank you for joining us now. The version you're seeing on the screen right now is 6.9 something.
This is actually, I'm on a pre-release version here,
Okay.
which is 17.5.21. I think the
Okay.
released version is 17.5.10.
5.16, 5.10
5.10.
or 5.16 or something.
5.10. Yeah.
Okay. But they've been working on version 7 for a couple of years now. A lot of updates, a lot of rewrites going on in databases. And when version 7 drops, it will be supported on Windows, Mac, and Linux. So.
Yep. All of what you just said.
Right.
And multilingual as well.
Multilingual. Cool. Good.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Se habla español.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's calling me now. Things are slowing down. I did, just for the record, I put how many new QSOs did I put in the record here? Like 14 while we've been sitting there.
During the stream, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. Here's something that's new as well. You can see over here in this field, this is the Logbook of the World sent field, and you can see these are all queued. The ones before this are all set to yes, and you can see yes, and you can even see whether they were verified or not yet. Just all the new QSOs, just have them show up as queued. And so they did. So now if I want to upload them, I click on the upload button. So this is Logbook of the World. And it says upload all, where Logbook of the World sent is queued, and it tells me there are 14. I could view them here if I wanted to. I'm going to save this guy's QSO. Thank you. I'm going to actually end that and come back because I want to see if his QSO actually shows up as queued, because it wasn't. There's 15. Okay. So I'm going to upload them. And so now I'm done. And then you're going to see all of these now turn to yes, automatically showing that I've uploaded them. So it's a lot easier than having to select them or whatever. It's just kind of a hands-off kind of approach to getting the job done, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Good.
But that's new. Award tracking's up here, so you can see that in my awards tracking, I have worked I'm just looking at DXCC at the moment. I've worked 2,697 countries. I've confirmed 2,668. I've got 29 outstanding banned countries to confirm. I've got 12 confirmations that I haven't yet submitted for the award. If I wanted to see, for example, the ones that I haven't submitted yet, go out to like 30 meters, or no, here's ones that I need to confirm. I'm going to go to 30 meters. I'll double click here. It shows me the countries. If I click view all, these are all the QSOs for those 5 countries that I should go chase them for a confirmation if I want to get those done. Wow, there's a lot of action here. Okay. I don't know what happened here, but
You were showing us how to update Logbook of the World automatically, or I'm sorry, manually. But people are asking, can it not be done automatically? It does it automatically. You just leave it, right?
no, right now it doesn't.
Oh, does it not? Okay.
Everything else does. So basically, club log, EQSL, hrdlog.net, QRZ log. Those are all automatic. The problem with Logbook of the World, maybe it's just a mental block on my part, is that there's no way that in Logbook of the World that you can do anything with mistakes. So if you got the call wrong and you upload it, once it's uploaded, you can't correct it, you can't delete it. So if you automate that upload, it might be a bad idea if you didn't get the call right. Which is why we added the queued thing up here, just to make that easier. So it's kind of a couple clicks versus having to find and select them and upload them. And the Logbook of the World folks don't really like people uploading in real time. They ask developers not to do that, and so far we've complied with that request.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Yeah, you've only buffered like once or twice. I'm on dial-up, so I've got the best connection out of y'all.
No.
Well, I've seen Mike freeze like maybe half a dozen times throughout this whole last hour.
That's weird though, because
it was like it was like 1.5 to 2 seconds, and during that time, Steve was fine. So I'm like, okay,
I'm gonna completely fire AT&T.
Oh, sheesh. But people are some people are saying that I'm buffering. Some people are saying no, he's never buffered. So I don't know.
You did at one point a while back,
okay,
Jason, but it's been a while.
Okay, all right. I don't know. It's somewhere between the 3 internet connections. It's buffered, I guess. But
well, I'm 2.5 gig up and 2.5 gig down.
Oh, you should be fine then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it could be Zoom. You know, again, you froze in Zoom a couple times. It very well could be Zoom and not your internet. So sometimes Zoom kind of freaks out too. You never know. But
yeah.
Do we support? I saw one for. Do we support? You scroll up. It kind of gave me. Here it is. Does HRD support accessibility features for blind or low vision hams? That's a first question I've seen on. I don't have an answer.
Yeah, I mean, what we have to do, what we end up doing is we conform to the Windows out of the box accessibility functions. So that's one of the benefits, by the way, to writing your software using Microsoft's Visual Studio, because it's always going to be compatible with things like the accessibility stuff. And you know, there are other tools on the planet that are used for accessibility that I'm not familiar with, and I couldn't speak to them directly, but I know that we're compatible with the Windows accessibility functions that are built into Windows.
So I don't have a co-host tonight, guys. If I missed your question, please type it again. I'm not ignoring questions. I'm looking for questions, but you know what? I might have missed it. So unless you're that one jackass that was coming in there with the foul language and we kicked him, so he had GMRS in his name. So
wow,
you
know what?
Take that for what it's worth. I don't know.
I saw somebody on FT8 here a while ago, so like last week, spewing a bunch of political hatred, let's say. You know, there's just no room for that stuff. People should like, this is a hobby. I mean, you know,
right.
Treat it like a hobby. And it's kind of like if I go to see a performer like a rock concert, All I want them to do is sing and play. I'm not
Right.
interested in their commentary.
What they have to say. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. Here's his question. Can you please show how to? And I think were you able to show us a screenshot of the new rig control? I think you were looking for that.
Oh yeah. Hang on a second.
But running
Oh,
17.510 now.
Well, it's actually that's pretty simple. Let me start with
Okay.
that one, 'cause I still haven't found the rig control screen yet.
All right. Good.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, let me make sure I don't have anybody calling me here real quick. So I think I just got that one in the log, and if I did, maybe. So basically, all you really have to do is install Google Earth. Then once Google Earth is installed, there are a couple different ways you can use it. There's the coordinates over here, and if I hover over it, it'll tell me that it's called tooltips, but it'll tell you what it does. It says the station's latitude and longitude in Google Earth. So if I click on this, oh, you're not even seeing that. Hang on
I
a second.
I see you mousing over something on that left-hand column.
Yeah, okay,
But,
hang on a
yeah.
second, because I'm gonna unshare here if I can find the.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna end up sharing a larger screen, but let's see what I
Okay.
do with
All right.
sure.
Time frame for when next release is going to be with 7.
Yeah, a lot
Well,
of people have asked that. We answered that question already earlier too, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's impossible to say when on version 7. And my wife wants to kill me every time I speculate. But it's a process of getting, all of the getting rig control, DM780, sat track, and rig rotor control redeveloped. That's what has to get done. Can't happen soon enough, but it's not going to take years. I would comment, my wife's in the next room. I know she'd just come in here with a baseball bat and hit me, so I don't want that. I'm still trying to figure out how to hang on. Now I'm going to unshare.
Unshare, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
he's working on the Google Earth sharing, guys. That's what we're working
yeah.
on right now.
So
also, they want to see what it looks like when Google Earth has contacts you've made.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this without blowing up your screen, but especially if people have accessibility kind of challenges. Can you share a screen section, or do you have to share the whole screen?
You can share a window.
Yeah, that's what I was doing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then when I try to put, Google Earth up there, it doesn't do it. So hang on a second. Well, I'm going to do this. It's probably going to be terrible, but I apologize.
Just go ahead and do it. I'll see if I can resize it from here.
Oh yeah, see if
So.
you can do that. See if you can do that.
Okay, so you're sharing like the whole widescreen now, huh?
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
World, but there you go. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Okay, are you over here on the right hand side where?
I'm on the left hand side where WSJTX is showing.
Come over to the right hand side, if you can drag it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Stay where you are. I think I can. There you go. You're good. You're good. Bring it on over.
Right there.
There you go. Yeah.
Now it's over. Now it's over the top there.
We're here on the right hand pane, so I'm gonna put in Steve's call, and I've done this before. So Steve, poor guy, lives at a post office, so I'm gonna put that up over here. Here's Steve's lat long. If I click this, it's automatically going to take me to Steve's QTH, which I'm pretty sure is a mailbox, post box. No, this is your house, Steve. Or did I type your call in wrong?
That's where the remote station is.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why, and so what I was showing a while ago. So if I go in now 20 different stations, so I lit them all up. I'm going to right click, go to look up Google Earth, and then it's basically going to show me on one Google Earth screen, which is kind of cool. where all the stations were that I've worked. They're all in the U.S. and you can see kind of like the spread of stations in the West Coast or throughout the Midwest up into the Northeast. It's kind of cool. One of the things that we're gonna do, we actually started to do this, but we backed off on it because it wasn't kind of the way I wanted it yet. But eventually, I think I mentioned this a while ago, Jason, that as you make QSOs, as you add QSOs to your log, I want them to automatically pop up on this screen.
Right.
Yeah, so then you could actually, like in real time, be able to see where your QSOs are.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
That's
several
cool.
different ways that you can. That's the most common way, two ways, I guess, to work with Google Earth. And what it actually does is, um, when you basically click on one of these things or send something to Google Earth, it's sending something. I think it's called a KML file, but it's your lat long in KML format. And Google Earth will basically take that and draw the line or find that particular lat long. We
Mhm.
had somebody the other day who said, I can't get it to work, but their file associations in Windows were set to some other application for KML, so that's why it wasn't working. But
Ah.
once you, I think the fix for that is to just reinstall Google Earth, and it'll probably set it correctly.
Mm.
But it's Google Earth, it's not Google Maps, so you can't do it in a browser with maps.google.com. You have to install Google Earth, and it's pretty cool.
Nice. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
I was still looking for the presentation I did on rig control, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it,
That's
Jason.
okay. That's okay. That's all right. It's something that's not available yet anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe you can
I don't.
tease it in Dayton.
Yeah. I don't understand this question, but two or three people have asked, can we print on Google Earth? Can you print this in PDF or any other format for sharing purposes?
I'm trying to get the connection between Google Earth and printing.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what they're asking
I mean, if I
there.
have this right here like this, I guess I could print that. It's a function within, well, that's kind of cool. So I could print this map from Google Earth.
As a PDF
Yeah.
file.
You probably print it as a PDF or,
Huh.
so there's save PDF. So let me just do,
Google Earth installed in a while, so I'm not real familiar with it.
well, they actually, Google tried to abandon it for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess a lot of people complained. So that's when you started to see Google Earth Pro. Before that, it didn't say Pro, if I'm remembering it
Hmm.
correctly.
Yeah, people are saying they want a screenshot. How do you share a screenshot of your contacts? I guess like in Hammers or World Radio League, you do a screenshot of all
Oh,
your contacts
I'll
on the
tell you what
files.
I'll tell you what I would do, just to be real honest. Let me get out of the what I would do is there is a free utility in Windows. It's called Snipping Tool.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
If you come to your Windows search thing and just put in snip, you get this. It comes up like this, if you can see this, and I'm going to click on New, and then I just basically will highlight the part of the map that I don't have to get the Google Earth part if I don't want to, but just
Hmm.
kind of highlight all this stuff, and it's got it. And then I could save this as a, I'm going to go ahead and save it as a test map. And then we'll go and look at, what did it actually look like when I'm going to get rid of that. And
Yeah, I use the snipping tool
oh,
all the
that's
time inside
better.
of Windows. It's great.
Yeah, it is because it just makes, you can even do videos with it now, which is pretty
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah. Hmm.
So here's basically what that looks like after I put it in a JPEG or PNG.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. It looks good.
There's Greg's QTH down here by Waco. Hi, Greg.
Awesome. Okay.
He's the higher
By the way,
millennial.
just as to add something here,
Mm-hmm.
this what I'm seeing here. Let me unshare. I'm going to go back to sharing. Where is my sharing button at? I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to go back to sharing just the just Logbook because it's just going to be a whole lot easier to see.
Mm.
Hang on 1 second. So, this is DX Cluster, and in DX Cluster, I've got the work status indicator filter on. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of software where there's this other software has this concept of needed stations or needed countries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we've gotten away with that or gotten away from that with work status indicators. So since Logbook already knows what's in your log, we don't need to know what the stations are or the countries are. You
Mm-hmm.
just tell it to show you the things you need. And right now I'm seeing one station there. I actually need to add them to the log for and confirm them for digital modes. But if I take this off, I've got 2,000 spots or DX spots that are here. I could scroll through them and see what's there. Oh, another cool thing too, which I think is really pretty cool. There's this new find button. If I put in OK1 WCF, then it filters that list of spots just down to OK1 WCF. That alone, I mean, if you don't get the new version to get the features, that's free.
Mm-hmm.
That the features like this aren't features, they're enhancements and doesn't cost you anything.
Mm.
I know a lot of people that they don't necessarily want to use the filter to find something in their log. They more often than not, they'll try to sort by call sign just to find something. So you don't have to do that anymore. There's a find button here. And if I put in find and then I just put in, let's say W1AW, then it's going to show me all the QSOs with W1AW, which is really, really handy. I mean, that's new in 6.9. It gets you to the exact, stations you're looking for, call in there. I see it, all those QSOs. Very cool, very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even ask the developer to put that in, and they did, and I think it's cool, which
Mm.
happens about 10% of the time. They'll, they'll put something in I didn't ask for, and actually looks pretty cool. Steve,
That's
did I
cool.
miss anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, let me add one thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Um, we have folks contacting us and saying, "Hey, I put in a support request, or I sent in a ticket." And either I didn't get a response back or someone closed my ticket.
Okay.
So, are you okay? I
Me?
thought I heard, yeah, I thought I heard somebody hit the floor. Anyway,
Oh, no, I hit my microphone by mistake. No, I'm good.
um, so the process is that, and so we've got a dedicated support team. They're involved all day. It's like Steve. They're involved all day on outbound calls, and we definitely take support requests on a first come first serve basis. So
Mm-hmm.
I could tell a longer story about why I'm passionate about that, but I'll save it for another day. But I really want to take customers on a first come first serve basis, and if somebody calls on the phone and Steve answers the phone, then he's going to make everybody who's been in queue wait while we take
Mm.
someone who called on the phone. So
Gotcha.
they're on outbound calls all day, taking them first in, first out. If you've reported something that happened to be a bug or a defect, that the support team are not developers. Do you write any code, Steve? Are you a developer?
No.
No.
So he can't write any code. So he's not going to fix a bug. So what he does is if he gets the beta testers or me or someone to verify that what the customers reported as a bug, if it's a bug, it'll get added to the bug tracking system, which is where the developers work.
Mm-hmm.
And so there may be, let's just say 10 people call and contact support and report the same thing. We open one bug tracking record for that thing, and all 10 of those tickets will essentially be merged into a bug tracking ticket that's now in a different system. So we close these 10 with a reference back to this bug tracking number, and when the bug has been fixed, it'll be in our release notes. Now, at this point, we're getting so few bug reports, and the ones we are getting are very unique to specific individuals, so we can't reproduce them in most cases. So what we do is
Hmm.
we'll have a beta build. We'll go back to the customer that reported it, and we'll say, hey, we've got a release that we think resolves your problem. Try this, see if it works. They report back. If it's good, then we close that one out. It gets included in the next release. If it doesn't fix their problem, then I go and reopen it, send it back to the developers, and we repeat that process until it resolves their bug. So
Hmm.
that's why folks may see tickets getting closed. They're not, it's not that we're dismissing your issue. The email that you get back will actually give you the tracking number and tell you why it's being moved to development. But that's a question that came up every now and then, but don't be alarmed by that. It's just that that's the mechanic for how we get it to the to the developer.
Hmm.
Tech support's done their job. Now it's time for the developers to do their job.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Well, this has been really good, very informative. And just in case anyone was wondering, we did not go through everything that Ham Radio Deluxe will do.
No, we went through
So
20%.
I'm surprised it's that much actually. So a lot of cool stuff it'll do in there. But you guys will be at Hamcation in a couple weekends.
We will, in fact.
So anyone going to Hamcation, stop by and get Mike always has a big, like, what, 40-inch screen there at his booth
Couple
that,
of them, yeah,
yeah,
couple of
shows
them.
Ham Radio Deluxe in a huge screen, so you'll be able to get a lot better look at it. And unless you're watching me on a 40-inch screen tonight, then you can see that,
Yeah,
which is
but
possible.
you can get in and kick around version
Yeah,
6 if you want. Pretty cool.
yeah, totally, totally.
Um,
That's great.
Ask us questions. We love to see people coming into the show.
Totally. All right. Well, I think we'll close it down there. It's pretty good time here tonight. Steve and Mike, thank you both for being here. And we'll see both of you in a couple weeks for sure, because Hamcation is going to be a really fun event. I'm hoping that it's warmer weather than it is here. So
Aren't we
I
all?
think we're all ready for some Florida 70 degrees weather. So I really hope that's what.
I heard I heard they were getting snow like within the last couple days.
I think they did last week. So I can only cross my fingers and hope that's all gone by the time we get there. But yeah, I
Indeed,
heard that same
indeed.
thing. So.
We'll move it to Key West or something.
All right, Bill. One last question. Since it's Bill, I'll grab it real quick. Where do I get a beginner's tutorial for HRD?
Yeah, good question. Go to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Ham Radio Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of videos on how to use certain features. Like there's a quick start guide in there. The videos are great because if I talk too fast, you can always pause them or go back, and you can kind of repeat things and follow along. I did mention we've got an online manual and you can use that. There's a lot of how-to content there, but I'm a visual learner. I prefer to have somebody show me how to do it. And we've
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of that stuff on our YouTube channel. If you go onto the YouTube channel and you find that there's a topic that you're interested in that I don't hit, just send us an email or contact us via support and say, hey, I'd really like to see a video on this, and I'm happy to do that.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Bill's
And
sharing the
by the
link to
way,
your YouTube channel. Thank you, Bill.
yep, and for the folks who are joining, because if we posted this on our social media, be sure to click the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, help Jason and Ham Radio 2.0 kind of attract more folks so that we can get really good high quality ham radio information out to people, this show and others, and help Jason kind of get the message out.
Totally. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We have, and I don't know how you want to do this, Jason, but you have an affiliate link, and if you want to maybe put it in the description or something, I think there's a 20% discount if people want to do that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know whether, or Lindy may have given you another one. I'm not exactly sure.
Let's talk about. I had a question about that, so let's talk about that after it ends, and then you guys check the description. I will update that. If there is a discount in there, whatever it is, I will put it in there here shortly. So
cool.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Hang out in Zoom for a minute. Everyone in the chat, we'll see you sometime later this week, and then in Hamcation in a couple weeks face to face. So 73.
See you
later.